everyone, and welcome to Los Angeles English School. My name's Helen. I hold a master's degree in teaching English and a CELTA, which is a certificate for teaching English to speakers of other languages, issued by Cambridge University. I've been working as a teacher and as a teacher trainer for over 10 years. I'm currently working at Los Angeles English School. Today, you're going to watch me conducting a one-on-one lesson to a student who has recently finished level 3 intermediate, and it's gonna be her first intermediate lesson. You can see our lesson plan. First, we're going to watch a video about lifestyle of different people, cause the topic of today's lesson is life in different countries and cities. Then we're going to practice the target language of today's session, which is vocabulary. After that, we're going to practice reading. You also can see recommended homework. So, let's get started. Today we start our first lesson, and this is our level intermediate. My congratulations to you. So, how are you doing today? Are you okay?
Yes, I am okay.
That's very nice. Okay, so we're going with you to start first with a little video, which will help us to talk a little bit about ourselves. And I'm going to share my screen with you. So here we are going to listen to different people and just on the street. And the people will answer questions about their lifestyle, about themselves. So your task is you need to watch the video and you need to write down only questions that people answer, okay? Only their questions. Their answers will be like an example for you, because then you will answer the same questions about yourself, okay?
Okay.
So you watch the video, and what do you write?
I write question.
Questions, yeah, great. Okay, so let's check if you can hear. Can you hear it well?
Hi, I'm Finn. I work for the
Can you
BBC
hear?
in London as a producer.
Yes.
I start work at 9:30 and usually finish around 6. What do you do?
I'm a teacher. I teach science at a secondary school.
I'm a receptionist for Camden Council in London.
I'm an English teacher, actually.
I work for the government. I'm a student.
I'm retired, yes.
I'm a graphic designer.
I teach English in Abu Dhabi.
I'm a student nurse.
Tell me about your daily routine.
I get up at about 6:30, grab a cup of tea, sometimes some cereal. I catch my bus at about 7:20 to Bristol.
I get up at about 6 o'clock. I don't have breakfast because I don't have time. I jump to my car and go to work.
It takes about 20 minutes to get to my workplace, take phone calls, look after staff that are there and some of the children. I leave at 5, get back home about 6.
I work from 8:30 until 3:30. At 3:30 I finish. I catch the tube home. Then I make some food.
I get into work, always have a meeting in the morning, and then always help patients wash and change beds.
Well, normally I go for a walk and I go to the gym every morning and go for a swim.
Usually I wake up, make a couple of cups of coffee, check my email on the computer. Then I get on my bike, ride to work. And I work from 9 till about 4:30. I'm finished.
What do you like about your daily routine?
I like going to work. I enjoy teaching. And I like getting home and relaxing in the evenings.
It changes. It's always different, and it's enjoyable. I enjoy my work.
I like the fact that I've got my own free time now, yes.
My workplace is quite near to me, so I don't have to travel far.
I love what I'm doing. I love my course.
Well, I like the people I work with, I like the students, I like my job. It's a very pleasant place to be.
What don't you like about your daily routine?
I don't like the rush in the mornings to get the tube.
The worst part is waking up, especially in the winter where it tends to be dark and cold.
There's nothing I don't like about my daily routine. I'm a very happy person.
Getting up at 6:30.
I like living about what I do now. I enjoy it, yes.
When I'm coming back home, sometimes it takes long because there's a lot of traffic.
Sometimes it gets very, very busy, and sometimes people can be quite angry or upset.
All right. So now I want you to read the questions that you have written down that these people answered. So what were the questions?
One question, what do you do?
Yeah. So what do you do?
I'm I have a lesson no.
Yeah.
I
Now
have no.
yeah, so you mean you now you are studying English, it's correct. But what do you do? It means in general, what's your job? What do you do for living? For example, I'm a teacher. I teach English. I work at Los Angeles English School. And what do you do?
I am a sales manager on the bakery.
Where, sorry?
On the bakery.
In a bakery.
In a bakery.
Oh, okay. You have a new job, yeah? Because I remember that you didn't have it. It's a new job.
Yes, I have a new job because 50-50 in my job.
So it's, what do you mean? It's like you just have a probation period.
Yes.
Oh, my congratulations to you. I hope that everything is going to be fine at this new place because it's a really nice news. So glad. I'm very glad to hear it. Okay, so what was the next question?
Next question, I hear maybe how about you get up?
Just a second. We will come back to the video and we are going to listen one more time, okay?
Okay.
So let's listen to this question again.
Okay.
Tell me about your daily routine.
Could you hear him?
Yes.
What did he say?
Tell me about what your daily routine.
Tell me about your daily routine.
Tell me about your daily routine.
Very good. So, could you tell me about your daily routine, please, Emil?
My daily routine on my work?
Yeah, it can be in general, yeah. How do you spend your day?
I get up at 7 o'clock. After I go to the gym, and I
Yeah.
and I run on my gym.
You run in the gym?
I run in the gym on the machine.
So you run on a treadmill.
Treadmill.
I will write it down just a second in a message. It's called treadmill. So you can say, I run on a treadmill.
I run on a treadmill.
All right. So, and then what do you do? It's only morning, yeah? So you run on a treadmill, and then what do you do?
Then I cook in my breakfast.
I cook breakfast.
I cook breakfast and I drink tea without sugar.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then in the evening, I walk in the park.
I walk in the park.
I work in the park.
And during the day, now you work, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so it's very nice. So about my daily routine, I wake up at a very different time because I sometimes work different hours because it depends on my students. Sometimes I can wake up very early and start my work day also very early. Sometimes I don't have to go to school so early, and sometimes I wake up at 6 o'clock. Sometimes I can wake up at 9 o'clock even, which is very nice. And yeah, I can start my work day either at 8 o'clock in the morning or at 4 o'clock in the evening. It depends. It's very different. Yeah. And if I have free time in the morning, I try to drink coffee, I try to cook, I try even to clean my apartment, and also I try to read because I like reading very much. And if I have free time, I read in the morning. I try to do this. Then I go to school, I have classes. And if I have classes in the evening, which is very often, it's I come home at about half past 8, and which is quite late. And then I only have dinner, and I can watch a film with my husband, just spend time together with him, and go to bed at about 12, or sometimes half past 12. Yeah, because I come home very late. Yeah, and I want to do something and I want to spend time with my husband. That's why I just have to go to bed very late. All right, so what was the next question?
The next question: what do you like about your daily routine?
Yeah. Okay. So, answer this question, please.
I like about in my daily routine only
Yeah.
only spend only spend to gym.
Oh, you like going to the gym.
The gym
Mm-hmm.
because I have any free time.
You don't have any free time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you like going to the gym because you can keep fit and you worry about your health. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. About my daily routine, I'm also busy, of course, as all people who work. And I like when I have free time in the evening because most evenings I am busy. And if I'm free, I'm very happy because I can read, I can do something for myself, I can walk. Yeah, I enjoy free evenings. This is the best time for me. All right. So, what was the next question?
The next question: what don't like about your daily routine?
What don't you like?
I don't like in my daily routine. I spend on my work and making only.
I don't like to do the same job.
I don't like to do the same job.
All
every
over.
day.
I understand. Yeah. So you get bored. Yeah.
Yes, I get bored.
I understand you. So that's why we have some free time so that we can relax and forget a little bit about our job. Me personally, what I do not like about my daily routine, it's what I have already said. It's when I need to come back home very late. This is maybe everything is fine. I don't want to complain. But yeah, it would be better if I could come home earlier. I would just have more time to do things for me and my family. Okay, thank you, Lina. Thank you very much. So let's analyze this part of the lesson. So the aim of watching the video about lifestyle was to use it as a warm-up activity, to set the context, to generate interest in the topic of the lesson, and to exploit it for speaking. So since this video wasn't the focus of the lesson, there was no vocabulary pre-teaching, and we watched the video only once. Very important steps before watching the video were, the first one, lead in. The teacher explains what the video is going to be about. Number 2, the teacher sets the task and gives clear instructions. So the instructions were, while watching the video, write down questions being asked in the video. The answers of the people will serve you as examples, because then you will answer these questions yourself. And a very important step, number 3, the teacher asks ICQs, which is instruction checking questions, to check students' understanding and readiness to do the task. So you watch the video, and what do you write? So now the student is ready to watch the video. After watching the video, we have feedback and discussion. What do you do? Tell me about your daily routine. What do you like about your daily routine? What don't you like about your daily routine? Very important points to mention. The teacher provides immediate oral corrections, which don't stop the speech flow too much. And this gives the opportunity to the student to speak freely and naturally. The teacher answers the questions as well in a friendly, open manner, so that the student doesn't feel as if she's taking an exam, but is having a real conversation with a human being. So let's move on to our lesson. And we are going to practice new words. So today we will take some vocabulary. And actually, these words are connected with life in different cities or countries. So you can see, who do you see there?
I see is population.
Very good. Yeah, it's perfect. So let's repeat this word, population.
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 Mm-hmm. So here we can see people, and this is a city, and these people live in this city, or you can say that they inhabit this city. Yeah, great. Let's say it again. Inhabit.
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 Very good. So these are people, and you can guess where they are from. So where are they from? What do you think?
These people from the USA.
Yeah, they are from the USA, and we can say that they are citizens of the USA, or they are
inhabitants.
Very good. Yes. So one inhabitant, many inhabitants. So let's repeat. Inhabitant.
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 Earlier, actually, this is a modern picture, by the way. You can see that these people live in a tribe. So especially earlier, people used to live in tribes, and in some parts of our world, especially in African countries, yeah, people still have tribes. Let's repeat this once more. Tribe.
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 All right. I will ask you some questions so that we can practice these words. Please, in your answers, use the new words, okay?
Okay.
So what's the population of our country?
In my country, I see population only Russian and American and and and
Ukrainians, probably. Okay, all right. So when I have a question, what's the population of your country? I mean, how many people live in your country? So can you try to answer again?
Mhm.
So what's the population of your country?
A population in my country maybe
About
maybe about 50, no 50,
40.
maybe 40 hundreds, no hundreds, 40 millions population in my country.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I will help you a little bit. The population of my country is about 40 million people. Can you say it, please?
The population in my country then
Is about
is about 40 millions people.
40 million people.
40 million people.
Yeah, so we have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. What's the population of your city?
In my city is 40
The population is?
the population is 40 million people. 40 million people.
I'm sorry, you are talking about the country. Now I am asking about the city. What's the population of our city?
In our city, the population in my city maybe
You don't know this, so I checked this. It's about 3 million people.
3 million people.
Yeah, it's a big city. All right, so do you know any inhabitants of English-speaking countries?
Inhabitant. Repeat this question.
Do you know any inhabitants of English-speaking countries? I mean, do you personally know anybody who lives in any English-speaking country, Canada or the United States or the United Kingdom? Okay, I will give you an example. So, for example, I know some inhabitants of the United States. I have a friend from the USA, and I also know a few people from the United Kingdom. They are also teachers. So I know some inhabitants of English-speaking countries. Do you know anybody, any inhabitants from any English-speaking country?
Yes, I know some inhabitants only from the USA. I have some friends.
Okay, so from the United States. Yeah, okay. What tribes were the first inhabitants of your country?
Oh, my country.
Yeah, maybe you remember some history lessons. So, do you remember any tribes who first inhabited your country?
I don't remember in my country tribes.
If we're speaking about Ukraine, you don't have to remember all their names, of course, but I personally remember that Slavic tribes were some of the first inhabitants. I will write it down just a sec. So you can check now in your message box. Slavic tribes.
Slavic tribes.
Yeah, they were some of the first inhabitants of Ukraine. So, do you think that people will inhabit other planets in the future?
Repeat, please.
Okay. Do you think that people will inhabit other planets in the future, like Mars or Jupiter or Saturn?
I think maybe inhabit. I think maybe inhabit to planet. Maybe Mars.
Oh, you think it's possible that people will inhabit Mars? Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't try to say it one more time.
I think maybe inhabit.
People will inhabit.
I think maybe people inhabit to the Mars.
Will inhabit Mars.
Will inhabit Mars.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I personally don't think so, but thank you for your opinion. What's the most inhabited country in the world?
Most inhabited country in the world. I think maybe people inhabit in the world some Russian people and Ukrainian people.
So the most inhabited country is the country with the largest number of people. So where many people live. And what's the most inhabited country with the largest number of population in the world?
I don't know.
I will help you. It's China. China. Yeah, I have checked it on the internet before the lesson. It's China is the most inhabited country.
I understand.
Okay. So now we will move on. I will share the screen with you again. So here, what do you see?
I see in the picture.
And this is Mona Lisa.
Yes. Mona Lisa.
By Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah, and if it's his work, if it's not a copy, this is an original. Let's say this, original.
Original.
So this is an original painting. You can use it as the adjective, or you can use this word as a noun as well. For example, I need an original. I don't need a copy, for example, of a document or of a passport or anything. Okay?
Okay.
Also, original means first known thing. For example, I am an original inhabitant of Ukraine. I was born here. So, what do you see here?
I see the car and
a map.
A map.
Yeah. So if you wanna go from your country and you wanna live in another country, you leave your country and go to another one. You immigrate to that country. Here we have the word emigrate.
Emigrate.
But I would like to take a look here. And there is actually a little difference between emigrate and immigrate. So you can 1 minute take a look at this picture, which demonstrates the difference. I want you to say in your own words what this difference is.
The difference is...
Yeah, you can take a look. You can first learn the picture and you will understand.
Immigrant and immigrant.
You can see we have this little guy here. And when you leave your country, you emigrate. But when you come to a country, you immigrate. So, for example, if you leave Ukraine, for Ukraine, you will be an emigrant. And if you come to Italy, for Italians, you will be an immigrant. This little difference, okay? So, emigrate, it's to leave, and immigrate, it's to come to another country. Let's practice this. Emigrate.
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 Immigrate.
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 Okay. Now we will practice these words. Are you an original inhabitant of Ukraine or an immigrant?
I am original inhabitant of Ukraine.
Okay, an original inhabitant of Ukraine. When you check in for a flight, is it possible to show a copy of your passport or do you need to show an original?
I need to show an original on my passport.
Oh, you can say an original passport.
An original passport.
Do you want to immigrate to another country?
Do you want? I think maybe.
Okay, and which country?
Which country?
You aren't sure?
No. I looking. I know looking. About USA.
Okay. And why are you thinking about the USA? Why do you want to go to the USA?
Because I have on the USA friends.
In the USA.
In the USA. And I want to practice my speak English.
My speaking skills.
My speaking skills.
In English. Okay, that's nice. Why do people immigrate to other countries?
Why? Maybe people immigrate for looking new new places.
They're looking for new places.
And maybe people working on the new city in Europe.
Yeah, so they find a job in another country and they go there for their work. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Then maybe people
when a woman gets married.
When a woman gets married and
her husband lives in another country.
Her husband lives in another country.
Okay, or maybe people go to study and then they stay in this country, yeah, because they like it there and they find a job.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you think that there are a lot of immigrants in your country?
Repeat, please.
Do you think that there are a lot of immigrants in Ukraine?
I think in my Ukraine it's a lot of immigrants.
Immigrants. Which countries have they emigrated from?
Which countries immigrated from? Country Russian,
Russia.
Russia, and Georgia, and some peoples on United Kingdom.
Yes, some people from the UK.
And some people from Italy.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move on. I will be sharing the screen again. So here you can see, what do you see here? It's a very big dog. So it's a very big dog, and when something is very, very big, you can say that this is huge.
Huge.
Okay, huge.
Huge.
All right. So we have a city with many different people, and if these people are from different countries, so there are many different nationalities. Usually, these are big cities. We call these cities cosmopolitan.
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 We also can say cosmopolitan about people. When, for example, a person likes to travel and travels a lot to many different countries, you can say that he is a cosmopolitan. Okay, just a person who travels a lot. So, what do you see here?
I see maybe here a crowd.
A crowd.
A crowd.
Okay, a crowd.
A crowd.
It can be also used as a verb. For example, many people crowded the square. And if this place has lots of people who are gathered there, you can say that this place is crowded. Crowded.
Crowded.
Okay. Let's practice. Have you ever seen a huge spider?
Spider.
Maybe in the bathroom or...
I don't see the huge spider.
So you can say, I have never seen a huge spider.
I have never seen a huge spider.
Can you give me some examples of huge cosmopolitan cities?
Huge cosmopolitan cities? This is maybe China.
It's a country, yeah, New York and Los Angeles, yeah. Do you think that your city is cosmopolitan?
I think maybe my city is cosmopolitan.
Are cosmopolitan cities usually crowded? What do you think?
Yes, my city is usually crowded.
Is usually crowded.
It's usually crowded.
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 Okay. When are the streets in your city really crowded? Especially at what time?
In my city, streets is very crowded. Then street Крещатик.
Yeah, so Krishchatik is very crowded.
Крещатик is very crowded.
And usually at what time is it crowded? Is it crowded all the time?
I think maybe it's crowded all the time because I working on my last job. I I worked on the subway station at 9 o'clock. Krishnatic is very crowded, and I
Was
stopped working on the 6 p.m. The Krishnatic was only crowded.
As you said, when you went to work and you came home, I think it's because these were rush hours. Like when people, I will type this in a message for you. When people come home from work or go to work, this period of time is called rush hour. So, yeah. All right. Can a crowd be dangerous?
Be dangerous. I think maybe crowd be dangerous. The people on the Dynamo stadium.
So you mean when people watch a football match?
Watch a football match. The people is very crazy.
Yeah, they are excited. Yeah, I agree. Okay, thank you. Let's move on. Again, I will be sharing the screen. So, what do you see here? It's a very nice picture.
I think hands and hands with
A heart.
a heart with a heart.
Yeah. So the heart demonstrates love and care. So if some people are important for you or something is important for you and you think about it, you care about it. Let's say this, care about.
Care about.
Care about.
Care about.
I, for example, care about my parents, my family. I care about my students. I think about them. It's important. They are important to me. Okay. So you also see a very similar picture. What do you see here?
To take care, maybe.
Very nice. Okay. What do you think is the difference between care about, just, and take care of or for somebody? If you look at this picture, what's going on here? Just try to describe it.
On the picture, to take care about something.
Yeah, so you see a nurse and she's taking care of this elderly man. She doesn't only think about him, but she actually does something. So if you give food to people, if you spend time with them, if you cook for them, or you wash your children, you take care of them. Or for, care for. Let's repeat this. Take care of.
Take care of.
Take care of.
Take care of.
Or you can say care for.
Care for. For.
Care for.
Care for.
I take care of my children. I feed them, I wash them, and so on. Or I care for my children. I cook and bring them to school. If we have something which is connected with clinics and hospitals in a country, it's called healthcare.
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 Okay. If we study, we go to school, we go to universities, we get
Education.
very good education.
Education.
Okay, let's practice. So, Ramil, do you care about your parents?
Yes, I care about for my parents because my parents live in another country.
Okay, I care about my parents.
Care about my parents.
Do you care a lot what people think about you?
Yes, sometimes people a lot about.
I will repeat the will. Do you care a lot what people think about you? It's important for you what people think about you, or no, or you don't care about it.
I'm in. No.
I care.
I care.
What people think about me. Yeah.
I care what people about.
What people think about me.
What people think about me.
Okay. I agree with you. It's important, but not too much. Don't think too much about this because it's not okay. Have you ever taken care of small children?
I I have take care. I have take care my.
I have taken care of.
I have taken care of my little brother.
Okay. Is healthcare free in your country?
The healthcare not free.
Is not free.
It's not free.
Maybe officially it's free, yeah, but maybe it's partly free. We have private healthcare and state healthcare. Is education free in your country?
Education is not free in my country. Some people spend education.
So you mean some people pay for education, yeah?
Some people pay for education.
Okay, so you can say that education is partly free.
Partly free.
Yeah, because we have paid education and free education. All right, so we will stop now with practicing the vocabulary, and as your homework you will do some exercises so that you can recap these words again, but I will give your homework a little bit later. So let's analyze this stage of the lesson, and the focus of this stage was new vocabulary. So the teacher followed 4 main steps in presenting and practicing new words. The first one, focus on meaning. The teacher shows a picture to a vocabulary item, word, phrase, or idiom, and elicits its meaning by giving easy definitions, providing clear examples, and asking questions. So the important point to keep in mind is that the teacher has to be well prepared for this in order not to waste precious time during class and to avoid too many pauses and rambling in their explanations. Attention must be paid to the pace at which the meaning is presented. It has to be very clear, concise, coherent, comprehensible, and interesting. So after you have focused on meaning and clarified the meaning of the target language, you go to focus on pronunciation. So the teacher models the pronunciation of a vocabulary item and drills it twice. For example, teacher models, student repeats. Teacher models, student repeats. Be sure to drill vocabulary items with dependent prepositions when necessary. For example, if you're going to drill the word take care, so you should drill it as take care of somebody. Take care of somebody. After you have focused on pronunciation and you have drilled the vocabulary item, you need to focus on its form. So the teacher demonstrates a picture along with a written word. Only after that, the practice using direct method goes. So the teacher, when the teacher has clarified the meaning and drilled a set of vocabulary items, she asks questions containing these items. The questions should be asked clearly and naturally. The student has to use the target language in their answers. If they don't, the teacher encourages them. Thus, students learn vocabulary in lexical chunks rather than on a word-by-word basis. This provides students with a ready language arsenal without the stress of having to build sentences from scratch. So, very important thing to bear in mind that during practice, the teacher has to provide feedback, which means has to correct students. So in this lesson, the teacher provided immediate oral corrections because they don't stop the speech flow too much. So for this particular example, immediate oral corrections were perfect, but you also can use delayed correction, which is the student is speaking and the teacher writes the student's errors on a sheet of paper and then types the sentences with those errors in a chat box. And the student then has to correct them. But this type of correction could be used at this lesson stage only when the student is really struggling and with extremely nervous and shy students. So because if you provide immediate corrections for such students, they will just stop speaking. So it will stop their speech flow and they won't be able to practice these words properly. So make sure to focus first on meaning, only after that on pronunciation, and only after that the student can see a written word. And don't forget to provide proper corrections. So let's come back to our lesson. So now we're going with you to read a little bit. And before we read, I will ask you a few questions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you tell me, please, Emil, have you ever been to London?
I never been to London.
I have never been.
I have never been to London.
Have you ever talked to anybody who visited London or who maybe lives in London, or have you ever heard anything about London?
I will be on the future and I visited London.
Oh, you will visit London, you think, yeah? Okay. And why do you want to visit London? Maybe you have heard some information about London. Maybe someone has already told you anything about London.
I visit London because I can try my English.
Oh, I see. So it's very nice, actually. So you like to study English so much that you want to travel to the United States and London. That's very good. Okay, so now we're going to read this text. So here you can see, and you can use also your activity book. It's page number 1.
Yeah.
So here we have a little text about London. And I want you first to read this text. You have 2 minutes. And I want you to find 4 interesting facts about London and underline these interesting facts in your text. Okay? So if you don't know some words, don't worry. Now don't pay attention to new vocabulary. It's okay. Try to understand in general and underline four interesting facts for you personally. Okay? So you have 2 minutes. Start.
Thank you.
All right, so the meal time is over. So what interesting facts did you find in this text?
The interesting facts for me on this text, then 300 languages are spoken by people of the London.
Of London?
London.
Okay.
And, it has 50 nationalities with population.
Yeah.
And I underlined a fact for me, 70 different nationalities of restaurant.
Yeah, so they have many different kinds of food there, yeah. So it's we have 3 facts. And give me one more fact.
One more fact. More than 300 languages.
Yeah, it's you said 300 languages. You said 50 nationalities. Yeah, you said live in London and they have 70 different nationalities of restaurant. And one more fact, which you haven't spoken about.
And Olympic Games, spent Olympic Games on in the 2012.
Yeah. So London hosted these Olympic Games. Okay, so no, thank you very much. Since we don't have enough time to continue talking about London today, it will be your homework. So I will type in a message for you, and I also want you to write it down. So this activity book, it's your page number 1. Can you read this text again about London? And here you have exercise number 2. You have sentences. You need to say if, I will demonstrate the screen. This is our exercise number 3. And here you have sentences. Some sentences are true, some sentences are false. For example, London is more cosmopolitan than Toronto. You need to find in the text if it's true or false, and also be ready to explain where in the text you found this information. Okay? That is why choose true false, and maybe it's a good idea to underline these places in the text where you find this information. Okay? All right. Also, in your student's book, lesson number 1, can you revise all the words that we studied today? And you have exercises with these words in lesson number 1. So you need to do all the exercises with these words, which are exercises number 1 and 2, yeah?
Yeah.
So also, I want you to watch a video. I will send now a link to you. You will watch the video, and there you will see the differences between migrate, immigrate, emigrate. So just this is the video on vocabulary, okay? Thank you for your work, and again, my congratulations that you now have a job. It's very nice. Do you have any questions to me?
I don't have questions.
Okay.
You
You are welcome. Have a nice evening.
Thank you very much, and you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
See you.
See
Goodbye.
you. Bye.
Next lesson.
Well, let's take a closer look at reading. So the teacher followed the following steps. The first was lead in. The aim of the stage is to set the context, to activate student schemata, to generate interest in the topic of the text, and to provide a gist question before reading. This step is very important. Make sure that you don't just start reading the text with the student, because the student has to understand the context, has to be interested in doing the task. So the teacher asks the following questions. Have you ever been to London? Have you ever heard anything about London? The next is we go to gist reading, which means reading for the general understanding without paying attention to details. So, set the task and the time in which the student has to complete it clearly. So, read the text, find 4 most interesting facts about London, and underline them. You have 2 minutes. Don't worry about unknown words, but try to understand the text in general. The next is feedback. So the teacher discussed those interesting facts with the student. And there were immediate oral corrections. So since we didn't have enough time to continue working on reading, we stopped here. And reading for detailed information was given as homework. But usually, if you have enough time, after gist reading, you would have to do reading for detailed information or reading for scanning to find some specific details. Before reading for detailed information, you would have to do vocabulary pre-teaching. So for such tasks as reading or listening, if you want to pre-teach blocking vocabulary, you need to pay attention. You need to bear in mind that you have to pre-teach only the vocabulary that prevents the student from doing some specific task. So you have to pre-teach maximum 5-6 words. So you need to convey the meaning of the blocking vocabulary related to reading. So don't forget to elicit the meaning from the student. Don't just give the definition and the word, don't say the word on your own. So the teacher elicits the meaning from the student pronounces the word after the teacher, and the teacher writes the word. In our case, is the teacher types the word in a chat box. Then we have reading for detailed information. In our case, are these sentences true or false according to the article? Go through the sentences first with the student, set the task clearly, and then feedback. Check the student's answers. Don't forget about the follow-up activity. The aim of follow-up activity is to use the text for further skills practice. In our case, I would choose speaking. So after working with the text, you could ask the student to speak about her country, or about her city, or about her hometown. So for example, can you give me most interesting facts about your city? Or what would be interesting for a foreigner to do in your city? So don't forget to use the text for further skills. So now I want to take a quick look at homework. The words that homework is not effective, fortunately, are not true, because most research suggests that homework does work because it consolidates acquired information, students study more, and students study at different times. So there is so-called spacing effect. When we study something, then we have a break, and we study it again. So most research shows that it's very effective because our brain works much better. So homework should be purposeful. The student needs to understand its aim. It should be efficient. It should be neither too long nor too easy. So the student should feel that they've accomplished something really effective. So very important that the teacher has to first set the task and motivate the student to do homework. So the teacher has to explain what the student needs to do and how to do it by giving clear instructions, demonstrations, and model answers. So just don't throw the homework at your student. Before leaving the class, explain what you want your student to do. Then the teacher has to check that the student understands what to do. You can start doing it in class and then ask the student to complete it at home. The teacher also has to establish the importance of the task and connect homework to classroom work. The next step that the teacher has to write homework in the chat box in our case and has to send the student all necessary links. For example, links to the videos that the student has to watch or links to some websites or dictionaries. The teacher always has to ask the student to recap the target language of the lesson. So there are some cases that when we also need to ask our students to look through vocabulary of the next lesson as well. So this is very important for the students who struggle a lot. The teacher has to provide feedback during each following lesson. The teacher also has to give praise and constructive criticism, so that the student will be more motivated and encouraged. So that's it for today's session. Thanks for being with us, and I encourage you to visit our website, losangeles.school.com, if you want to work with us as teachers or to study at our school. And also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a great one. Bye!